Something felt wrong this morning. You stood there looking at your reflection, and your hair was done, and it still wasn't right. Not wrong exactly, just not you. That feeling? It has a name, and it lives inside the pixie cut. Here's what nobody says out loud. A pixie cut can be the most age-defying decision you make in your 60s. Or it can be the one quietly working against every beautiful thing your face has to offer. The difference is not about courage. It's about 7 specific mistakes most women never know to avoid. Every morning one of these mistakes is adding years to a face that doesn't need them. You're one piece of information away from the version of the pixie that makes strangers stop and ask who does your hair. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering 7 pixie cut mistakes women over 60 should avoid. And by part 3, you're going to want to pause this video and call your stylist. I mean it. Part 1 opens with the single most common pixie mistake I see. And part 2 has a fix so effortless it almost feels unfair that no one has ever said it plainly to you. Part 3 covers one specific thing most women over 60 are doing every single morning with their pixie styling. And a hairstylist told me personally it's the hardest habit to undo once it's locked in. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The too short crown mistake. You asked for a pixie. You showed a photo. And what you got was something that sat too tight, too flat, too close to the skull. And the minute you left the salon, something in your chest sank a little. You couldn't explain it to anyone. But you knew. Here's the girlfriend truth. That feeling wasn't vanity. It was your eye recognizing something your words didn't have yet. This is the one a friend of mine heard, and immediately called her stylist to rebook. The reason it happens so often is innocent. Women ask their stylist to keep it clean, or keep it tight at the top, not knowing that those exact words are stripping the face of its natural lift. The stylist delivers exactly what was asked. The problem is in what was asked. So here is what to ask for instead. Request volume at the crown. Those exact words. You want the hair at the top of your head to have height. Not much, not dramatic, just enough lift to visually elongate the face and draw the eye upward. A skilled stylist will use a razor or texturizing shears at the top to create soft movement rather than a flat cap. Yes, that's simple. The swap is this. Instead of a cropped close cap, ask for a lifted crown pixie. Hair kept slightly longer on top, blended short at the sides, with a soft peak of volume in the center. The moment that lift exists, your cheekbones read higher, your jawline softens, and your whole face looks longer and more luminous. One maintenance tip. Blow dry the crown section upward using a round brush and a small amount of volumizing mousse. Takes under 45 seconds and holds the lift all day. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Part 2, the wrong neckline shape mistake. Bold statement. Ready? The back of your pixie cut is doing more damage than the front, and you have never once seen it. That is the entire problem. Most women check the front, the sides, the fringe. Almost no one checks the neckline shape. And the neckline is where the age adds up fastest, silently, every single day, without your knowledge. A squared-off, hard-edged neckline creates a visual shelf at the back of the head. It stops the eye abruptly. It interrupts the natural line of the neck. And that interruption adds visual weight to the lower head and upper neck, which reads as heaviness. Your whole silhouette ages at the back without you ever knowing what changed. There's a reason this mistake is the hardest one to spot on yourself, because you genuinely cannot see your own neckline. You are relying on your stylist to make this call. And many stylists default to a squared neckline because it is faster and cleaner to cut. That does not mean it is right for you. What changes everything is a tapered, feathered neckline. When the hair at the back of the neck is cut to gradually taper into the skin, lighter at the edges, softer at the base, the back of the head becomes graceful instead of architectural. The neck looks longer. The whole head feels lighter. This one detail is doing more quiet work against your silhouette than anything you can fix from the front. The fix is one phrase to your stylist. Feathered taper at the neckline. Say it before they begin. Show the back of your hand as a reference if needed. You want the hair to gradually fade into the skin like a watercolor edge, not stop like a pencil line. Write this one down. If your neckline has already been cut square, ask for it to be softened at your next appointment using a razor, not clippers. The razor blurs the edge. Clippers define it. You want blur. Maintenance. When your neckline starts to grow out, usually 3 to 4 weeks after a cut, you will feel it before you see it. A quick 5-minute neck tidy with a razor keeps the taper clean between full appointments. The next mistake is the one I see most often, and the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Part 3. The heavy fringe mistake. Have you ever wondered why your pixie looks perfect in the salon chair, and slightly wrong by the time you get home? You haven't changed. Your house hasn't changed. But the fringe has settled. And when it settles wrong, it changes everything. This is the part one warned you about in the intro. What I'm about to tell you is the one thing most women over 60 are doing every single morning without knowing it. And a stylist I respect deeply told me personally it is the hardest habit to undo once it is locked in. Here is the specific thing. A thick, blunt, straight across fringe on a woman over 60 is visually shortening the forehead and pulling the eye downward, which compresses the face vertically, reduces the visible space between the brow and the hairline, and makes the upper face disappear. This specific fringe choice is adding at least 5 years by flattening the most important real estate on your face. The habit that is almost impossible to undo? Blow-drying the fringe straight down every morning. Down is the direction of gravity. Gravity already has decades of practice. You do not need to help it. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and her fringe was doing all the wrong things to her forehead. She kept asking the stylist to just tidy it up. She didn't know the problem wasn't the length. It was the direction. The fix is a textured, side-swept fringe, not a full side-parted fringe, just a gentle sweep with texture cut into it. When your stylist cuts the fringe, ask them to point cut vertically into the edge rather than cutting straight across. This removes the blunt line and creates natural movement. This one is everything. The before and after here is extraordinary. Blunt straight fringe versus a textured swept fringe on the same face. The second version opens the forehead, lifts the brow visually, and adds at least 3 centimeters of perceived vertical space to the upper face. Photographs change. Video calls change. First impressions change. The swap. If you've had a blunt straight fringe for years, ask for a soft recut with the scissors held vertically. Then, and this is the maintenance habit, dry the fringe slightly to the side with your fingers, never straight down. 30 seconds every morning. That one direction change is the whole game. I didn't expect part 4 to be the one people message me about most. But it always is. Part 4. The uniform texture mistake. Every single strand the same length. Every single strand the same weight. Blended perfectly, trimmed perfectly, shaped into a smooth even cap that sits around the head like a helmet. It looks neat. It looks controlled. And it is quietly making your face look rounder, heavier, and older in a way that is almost impossible to name until someone names it for you. Uniform texture is the mistake most stylists won't mention because technically, the cut is perfect. No unevenness. No gaps. Nothing to correct. But perfect evenness is the enemy of movement, and movement is what keeps a mature face looking alive. Here is the specific aging mechanism. When all the hair is the same weight, it falls as a single unit. It does not move independently. And hair that does not move reads as flat, which reads as heavy, which pulls the entire face downward. This uniform texture choice is adding visual weight across the cheeks and jaw, not because of the cut's shape, but because of the total absence of variation in how the hair sits. There's one thing about texture that nobody in this space talks about plainly. Here it is. Your hair in your 60s has changed weight. It may be finer. It may sit flatter naturally. A pixie cut with no intentional texture built in will always default to flat, no matter how much product you use afterward. You needed to hear this. The key insight is that texture must be cut in, not styled in. No amount of product fixes a cut that has no layering. The fix lives in the scissors, not the cabinet under your bathroom sink. Ask your stylist for internal layers and disconnection. Those are the technical words. Internal layers means weight is removed from beneath the top section, so the surface hair can lift and move freely. Disconnection means sections of the cut are intentionally different lengths. not blended seamlessly into each other, but allowed to sit at their own level and create visible contrast. You want the pixie to look like it has a personality, like the hair has somewhere to go. The swap is this. Instead of a smooth blended pixie, ask for a disconnected layered pixie, where the top is noticeably longer and lighter than the sides, and the sides have razor-cut edges rather than scissor-blunt ones. The difference on camera is immediate and striking. Maintenance tip. Use a light texturizing spray, not hairspray, not mousse, on dry hair at the crown and temples. Press and release with your fingertips, never smooth down. You are encouraging movement, not controlling it. There's one thing about Part 5 that nobody says directly. That's next. Part 5. The wrong proportions at the temple mistake. This one is quiet. That's why it gets everyone. You would never point to the temples in a mirror and say, "There, that's where it's going wrong." And yet for more women over 60 than I can count, the temple area of the pixie cut is the exact place where the face loses years it did not need to lose. Temples are a time zone, and most women's stylists are cutting them 5 years in the wrong direction. Here is the specific mechanism. When the temples are cut too short, meaning the hair from the hairline to the top of the ear is cropped tight and flat, the widest point of the face is left completely exposed with no softening frame. In your 30s, tight temples look sleek. In your 60s, tight temples widen the face visually and bring the eye directly to any changes in the skin at the temple and cheek area. This one choice is adding width to your face that was never there before, purely through what has been removed. There's a reason this mistake is so hard to correct once it's been cut in. Because once the temple hair is gone, you're waiting for growth. And short temple regrowth at an awkward stage looks worse before it looks better. This is the most expensive mistake in this video, in time and in patience. The fix begins before the scissors open. Before your stylist starts any work near your temples, say this exactly. Leave some weight at the temples. I want softness framing the face, not close-cropped sides. A good stylist will keep at least a fingernail's worth of length at the temple, cut with a razor to create a soft irregular edge rather than a hard line. That small amount of weight at the side of the face creates a frame. And a frame narrows the face visually, brings the eyes forward, and softens any skin changes at the cheek. The before and after here is one of the most visible transformations in this entire video. Close-cropped temples versus softly weighted temples on the same face. The second version narrows the visual width of the face by a full third, brings the cheekbones forward in photographs, and creates the kind of elegant framing that used to require expensive makeup contouring. One instruction to your stylist. That is all. The swap. Instead of a cropped close temple, ask for a soft feathered temple, hair left slightly longer at the sides and cut with a razor edge that grazes, rather than exposes, the skin. Ask specifically for the weight to sit just in front of the ear and along the lower hairline. Maintenance. This is the one area where growing out does you a favor. Once you have weight here, simply ask your stylist not to take it all off again at each appointment. Preserve what's working. Your pixie cut has been one conversation away from extraordinary. Now you have every word you need. You just learned the 7 pixie cut mistakes most women spend years making without a single person telling them what was wrong. The crown that was robbing your face of lift, the neckline nobody warned you about, the fringe habit that's almost impossible to break once it's in, the texture that was never cut in at all, and the temple weight that was quietly widening a face that was always meant to be striking. You didn't just watch a video. You changed how you'll walk into your next salon appointment. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now your cut is going to prove it. Tell me in the comments, which of these 7 mistakes were you making without knowing it? I read every single one. Next time, we're getting into the one color placement mistake that adds years to a pixie cut the moment it grows out. And it's not the one you'd expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.